Hi, I'm Donna. This practice will be active and standing poses. We're going to do a nice warm up towards those standing poses. So let's get started. I'm going to lay down. Really give the weight of your body to the floor. Well done on making this time and space for yourself. Find your breathing. You can have your feet hip width and parallel, your legs parallel, or you might like to have your soles of the feet together, knees out wide in Supta Baddha. Keep your shoulder blades flat against your back, moving towards your back waist so you feel really spacious in your chest. And from here, you can either bring your legs together, roll gently to your right side, or follow me. I'm going to bring my legs in, cross my ankles and roll up, hands at the front of the mat, and step all the way back to a kneeling position, the back of the mat. So forward Virasana, reach your torso forward, your arms forward, and your hips as close to your heels as your knees allow. You can have your hips higher if you need. And even though your arms are straight, try not to squash your shoulders into your neck space. So feel that your neck and throat are spacious. Feel the space of the breath in your ribs, your back. Good. And then coming up into cat stretch. Knees underneath your hips and wrists underneath your shoulders. If you need a little bit more space for your wrists, take your hands further forward. Give your fingers a wide and even stretch. Press the pads of the fingers, the base of the index fingers. And arch your spine up as you squeeze the front of your torso. That's an exhalation. Inhale, arch your spine down. And then you're going to keep going and let your movement follow your breathing. So you're not holding your breath in or out. Know that you are breathing in and you are breathing out. And find every morsel of movement along your spine. Good. Spine in neutral. You can feel those gentle, elegant curves of your spine. You're going to keep your hips over your knees, but stretch your arms further forward. Keep the collarbones wide, chest wide, and lengthen the chest and the armpits towards the floor. Just let the chest widen into the posture. Keep your neck long and relaxed. Good. And then coming up, wrists underneath your shoulders, cat stretch, arching the spine up, arching the spine down. Good, and take a moment into child's pose. Resting your hands. You might like to squeeze them into a fist and release and squeeze and release. Good. And then reach your arms all the way forward and come up into Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Tuck the toes under, lift the hips high, keep the heels high, the knees bend. Make sure your neck is nice and long. Good. We're going to bring one heel down to the floor, bend the other leg, and then opposite sides, kind of pedaling. Just feeling the stretch in the back of each leg, really working to relax. Letting your neck lengthen, shoulders widen. Feel where the weight is in your hands, evenly into the pads of the fingers, base of the index fingers. Press both heels down now. Good. Now, you're going to bring your feet together and keep the hips really level. Squeeze your belly to your spine. Squeeze the pelvic floor and lift your right leg. You're going to lift your leg as high as you can, but keep it straight. And don't tip the pelvis, and keep that nice weight into the pads of your fingers, base of your index fingers. Right toes point straight down, chest is wide. Good, and then relax that side. Press both heels. Nod your head, relax. Good, left side. Left leg lifts, but you're going to keep the pelvis level. Squeeze the belly, squeeze the pelvic floor. Lift up nice and high. Breathe deeply. Good, and then release that side. And then you're going to lift your right leg again. Great. Nice and high. And this time bend your leg and bring your heel towards your left buttock. And you're going to turn your chest to the right side. Let the chest open, the belly lengthen. Keep breathing. I'm just letting my right foot be really relaxed. Good, and then back to center, feet together, press your heels. Lift your left leg, lift up nice and strong. Good, and then bend your leg and bring your heel to your right buttock, and you're going to turn your chest to the left side. You're looking under your left armpit. Press your finger pads down, the base of your index fingers. Keep breathing, shoulders wide. Good, and then release that side, press both heels. Good, and bring your knees gently to the floor and find child's pose. Your version, so you might have your hands resting beside you, your bottom onto your heels. If you need to have your hips higher, because that feels nicer for your knees, just have loose hands underneath your forehead. Breathe deeply, relax, let go. Good, and then from child's pose, we're going to come up to standing. And we're going to take a stand in the middle of the mat. And we'll do that with feet under the hips. You're going to put the middle line of your toes, your feet. So that's the toe that's next to your big toes, and it's long bones. Have them parallel to each other. So they're the midline of your feet. Stand with those parallel. And then legs parallel, so they don't look like triangle. And just see what that feels like. Feel across the balls of your feet, the heels. Stretch your toes. Good, and then lift up through the front of your knees, your quadriceps, your pelvis, belly, breastbone, top of your head, so take up space vertically. Find your breath. Let your upper arms roll out. Palms face towards the sides of your legs. Just notice what your lower back and your belly do. See if you need to support your back a little more with your belly by pressing the front core towards the back core. See how that feels. And then opening your eyes. Bring your hands in front of your heart. For Trikonasana, we're going to step the feet apart about your own leg length distance. Good. And turn your right toes out to 90 degrees and your left toes in about 30 degrees. Good. But you're going to try and bring your hips, your breastbone towards that long edge of the mat. If that hurts your knees, just go to where you need to. But do try and lift your kneecaps, lift your quadriceps. If it's a little strong with straight legs, just bend your knees a little bit. Good. And again, feel what your core does. So maybe the belly spills forward. See if you can reach the front core towards the back core. Lift the breastbone, lift the top of the head. Good. We're going to reach the arms. Inhale. Exhale. Right fingertips reach. Right arm lengthens. Armpit, ribs. And take your arms to the vertical. If you have a problem with your shoulder here, you can rest that left hand onto your hip. You want to feel both sides of the spine lengthening. Both sides of the neck long. Might feel better to just look straight ahead. But if you can turn the ribs, you might be able to look up at the ceiling past your thumb. Good. See if you can feel the balls of the feet on the floor again. The heels again. Strong legs. Lift your kneecaps. Lift the front of the thighs. Enjoying each breath. Good. Inhale and come up. Keep your arms reaching and turn your feet to the second side. We're lining our left heel up with the center of the right foot, inner arch. Good. And then see if you can get your hips to turn back to that long edge, the breastbone, to the long edge of the mat. But don't push it with your legs. So just find what's going to work for your legs, but use them strongly. Lift the kneecaps, lift the quadriceps. You can have them a little bit bent if you need. Good. Reaching your left fingertips as far as you can. Armpit, side of the waist. Bringing the hands to the vertical, or arms to the vertical. So your chest isn't collapsing, but feels wide. Lift your heart towards the ceiling. Find where it feels best for your neck. So both sides stay nice and long. Both sides of the waist stay long. And reach where you can reach. Through your feet, your legs, your spine. Good, and then inhale and come up. Nice. Turn the feet forward. Bring your hands back to your heart, and you can jump back, feet together, or you can heel toe like that. Keep it light. Tadasana. Let's try feet together. So the front of the body is lifting. Knees, quadriceps, front of the hips, breastbone, top of the head. And you're using your front core to support the back core. So you feel really tall, really relaxed and wide across your chest. Good. Bring your hands back in front of your heart. Reach your arms, step your feet out, a little bit wider than your leg is long this time for Virabhadrasana Ii. Turn your right toes out at 90 degrees, and we're going to bend that leg. And see if you can reach back into your left fingertips so that we bring the torso not leaning over that front leg, but just as tall as you can, back to perpendicular to the floor. You bend into the leg as deeply as your hips, your knees are going to allow, and you open or externally rotate the thighs as much as your knees allow. Good. But reaching back into your right fingertips. Tailbone reaches forward. Squeeze the pelvic floor, lift the front core to support the back core. Looking over your right fingertips, breathing. Face relaxed, throat relaxed. Good. And then inhale, come up. Bring your hands into prayer position in front of your chest. Turn your feet to the second side. We turn the hips and the breastbone towards that long edge of the mat. But listen to your knees, listen to your hips. Good. And we bend the left knee as deeply as you can, as you need to. No deeper. Reach your arms. Reach back into your right fingertips. Feel really spacious across the chest. See if you can feel the balls of the feet onto the floor. Stretch the toes. Squeeze the pelvic floor. Lift the front core to support the back core. Breathe. Nicely done. Hands back in front of your heart. Turn your feet to the front. Good. And you can heel toe in nice and gentle, or you can jump in but land lightly. Whoa! Tadasana. Good. Find the front of your body lifting. You can close your eyes here. You might notice yourself with your feet together, swaying to center. Good. And then opening your eyes, bring your hands in front of your heart. Step your feet apart that wide distance again. Right toes turn out, left toes turn in. You're going to bend your left knee. So your left heel is lining up with the center of the right foot inner arch. Good. Now this time, you're going to take your left elbow, right elbow, reach your right ribs over your thigh. Bring the elbow down onto your knee. You're going to have your left hand onto your left hip. And see if you can roll that left hip back as you're coaxing the bent knee back. Just wherever your hips will allow. Good. We want to get a nice straight line from the shoulder through the hip down to the foot. Breathe. You can stay here with the hand onto the hip, or you can reach the left arm all the way overhead, continuing that straight line. Lift the heart to the ceiling. Good, and then inhale and come up. Good, turn your feet forward, bring your hands in front of your heart. Second side. So lining up your left heel with the center of the right foot inner arch. Good, bend your knee. Find your hips as close as you can to parallel to that long edge of the mat. But we're going to reach the left elbow this time out onto the knee. And you're coaxing the knee back. Have your right hand onto your hip and you're coaxing the right hip back so that we feel really nice and wide across the pelvis. Stretch your toes out. Don't grip your toes. Good. Tuck the tailbone forward. Use the front core to support the back core. Lengthen the spine, both sides of the spine. So you find that nice straight line, right side of the body. And if it feels okay for your shoulder, you're going to take the right arm all the way overhead, continuing that line. And breathe. Heart lifts to the ceiling. So the right ribs are rolling back, the left ribs are rolling forward. Pelvic floor stays lifting, front core is supporting. Good. And then inhale and come up. Bring your hands back in front of your heart. You can heel toe, keep it light or jump in. Tadasana. Good. Stay facing where you can see Uttanasana. I'm going to turn your feet or part your feet so they're hip width distance. Take your arms up, look up, and as you exhale, bend your knees and bring your hands down onto your knees. So we want to keep the belly long, lift the breastbone. Good. But then you're going to check that you've got movement all the way along the spine. Kind of like standing cat stretch. Finish off with the breastbone lifting. You can feel your lower back arching forward. Good. Bend your knees as much as you need to reach your belly over your thighs. So you can keep your legs bent, but keep them parallel. So your feet are parallel, legs are parallel. And you can put your hands on the floor if they reach. You can hold the front of your legs. Good. And then from here, you're going to play around with the stretch in your legs, whether you can do one leg at a time, whether you can straighten both your legs, but you don't want to lose that inward arch of your lower back. So listen to your body. Feel the space around your heart. Make sure you keep your neck really long. If you nod your head, you'll check that you're relaxed there. feeling the shape of the breath. The shape your lungs make when they expand. The letting go of the breath in the abdomen. Good, and then we're going to bend the knees, keep the legs parallel to roll up, press the belly to the spine, roll all the way up, bring the chest out wide, the arms out wide. You're going to look up. Good, and as you exhale, Tadasana. And then from here, we're going to take a seat and you'll need a blanket. Take an easy seat. So do that in a way that feels graceful in your body. And legs out in front. So I'm going to pull gluteus maximus out of the way. So you want to feel like you're sitting on the front of your sit bones, not on the back of your sit bones. So sitting up nice and tall. Use your belly to help you with that length. Good. Bring your hands just behind your hips, and you're going to feel like you're taking up space with your spine, lengthening, but your shoulders aren't lifting. Nice and relaxed. And breathe deeply. Stretch right out through your legs, lengthen your toes. Great. You're going to look back over your right shoulder, look at your right thumb, stretch back, stretch your chest nice and wide, and then reaching your right arm forward. And you might not reach your foot, that's fine. Just go to where you can on the outside of your left leg. Good. And then we're going to come back up. Good. And then left side. Look right back as far as you can. Watch out for the artwork. Good. And then we're going to reach forward just as far as you can. You've got to hold your toe. Good. And then inhale. And coming up. Good. And again. Do one more each side. Ooh. Nice big reach. Forward and back. Good. And then both. Like butterfly. And reach forward. Hold as far as you can towards your feet, but don't squash your body. Don't lose the good posture. So find your little lower back arch. Make sure it's reaching in. So only hold so far forward as you can. Get that back arch to reach forward. Lengthen your belly. Nice wide chest. Relax your shoulders. Really strong legs. If it's hurting your knees, you can always put something underneath your knees. Good. Some people have lots of forward movement here. The more you hollow and lengthen the belly, then the more room there is to take the belly over the thighs. But again, we're not looking to reach the feet if you lose your good posture. So find that feeling of space, the elegant curves of your spine lengthening, and enjoying each breath. Paschimottanasana. Seated forward bend. Back of the neck long. No need to reach beyond your limit, but spend time being curious of your limits. Good. And then I'm going to release. You need a little bit of room behind you. You can move this forward. We're going to balance now on the back of the pelvis. Oh, I need to move forward. Good. So if you have your arms straight, find your lower back arch. Reach it forward. Squeeze your belly to your lower back. Good. Keep your chest nice and wide. Shoulders relaxed. Neck relaxed. See how you go, letting go with your hands. So you can stay here, or you can go a little stronger on the belly but keep your lower back arch lifting, keep the belly squeezing, keep the pelvic floor squeezing so you can reach back. You can try taking up one leg and then the other leg, or you can try both legs, keep your knees bent or have your legs straight. But keep the chest nice and wide, throat relaxed. Reach through your fingers, reach up through your toes, reach out through the soles of the feet. Keep the back of the neck nice and relaxed, the neck nice and relaxed. Good work. And then release. We're going to lay down on our backs. And let your belly be nice and wide and relaxed. You don't really need anything under your head because we're going to lift the hips. If it really feels like you need head support, of course, put something there. All right, so we're going to have the arms out a little from the sides of the body. Just really relaxed in your chest. And again, when you give yourself this opportunity to get on the floor, give the weight of your body to the floor. Feet are hip width. Good. And then ease your tailbone off the floor, pelvis, lower back. Lifting up bone by bone. And then letting bone by bone back down onto the floor. You're going to do that in your own time, finding every morsel of movement. If you feel the contact of your feet with the floor, use your legs powerfully. You really get a nice big lift. Just enjoy exploring. Good, and then releasing, relaxing. We're going to come into a twist. Take your feet out as wide as your mat and let them fall gently to the left side of your mat. And if they don't reach all the way to the floor, you can put something underneath your knees. You can look over your right shoulder. Good. And then coming back up. And let your knees fall gently to the right side, looking back over your right shoulder. Sorry, left shoulder. Good, and then coming back up and hug your knees into your chest. You want to lengthen your lower back here. Let your belly be relaxed. When it feels like that, take your legs out straight for relaxation. Let your arms out wide enough so your chest can be wide, your armpits relaxed, draw your shoulder blades towards your back waist. Feel your lower back is nice and long. Just let your legs roll out. I'll be on the center of the back of your head. Neck is long, throat is long. And give the weight of your body to the floor. Find the space of each breath. When you're ready to come out of the posture, bend your legs. and roll gently to your right side. And coming up to sitting. Feeling the length of your spine. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Namaste.